Good afternoon. My name is James White. I represent Mary Haven Center of Hope, a CRP provider from New York. I appreciate the opportunity to submit comments to this commission on a very complex, non-binary issue. I had prepared statements, but I adjusted them a little bit based on being here today and listening to the testimony. In my 25 years experience in my production floor, I have never had card playing, I have never seen segregation, I have never seen discrimination, and I certainly have never seen slavery. What I have seen is a wonderful, warm, embracing, nurturing community which provides employment for individuals with disabilities. I would argue that 14C and the employment choice is not contrary to the ADA nor the Olmstead ruling, because it maintains a full array of service options in the most appropriate settings for those with significant disabilities. The goal of any federal policy should be to ensure that all who want to be employed have the opportunity to be employed. Individuals with the most significant disabilities must have choice. Repealing the 14C will eliminate jobs for the most vulnerable and the most underemployed segment of the working age Americans. Having a choice is, having a job is the building block of accomplishment, pride, and self-esteem. Save this choice. A one-size policy doesn't fit all. We need a full array of services for a fuller range of disabilities. Any policy must broaden the range of choices and options. Repealing 14C will eliminate jobs, not add jobs. I was concerned today in today's briefing about the lack of accurate data on the number of persons receiving 14Cs nationally. The numbers range from 100,000 to 300,000. Before changing policy, the Commission needs to actively seek direct input from those most vulnerable who will be affected by changes to 14C who are presently receiving those benefits. I referenced the committee to a December 2016 Joint Economic Commission report called The Rewards of Work. Work matters. Extensive research and ample evidence show that meaningful work benefits self-esteem and pride in the individual. If 14C policy is repealed, people with significant disabilities would find themselves without employment. Reference the George Washington University Chimes report in Maine about the negative impact of eliminating 14C. CRPs would not be able to pay full minimum wage, and the businesses who contract for services will not be able to pay 100% salary for less than 50% productivity. The elephant in the room is the economic productivity gap. It's the elephant in the room that CRPs don't have the money to pay, businesses don't have the money to pay, and government doesn't have the money to pay. Reference the Department of Labor Policy Wage and Hourly Division Toolkit. Reasonable accommodations are the key to the ADA's employment provisions, which protect qualified individuals. Qualified is the key word here. Qualified equals meeting industry productivity standards with or without reasonable accommodations.
Thank you for your testimony. You need to stop there.
My name is Linda Howe, and I live in Wisconsin. Provision 14C was initially enacted to allow disabled World War I veterans to work at a lower productivity rate and still earn a wage. It is not any less relevant today for those of us whose loved ones are unable to work at the same rate as those more capable. Sheltered workshops have allowed those loved ones to work in an environment where they feel safe, loved, and accepted, while having the pride of holding a paying job. They are by no means prisons, but an environment where our loved ones know that they're valued members of society. For the entirety of our son's 41 years, we have heard all the buzzwords: mainstream, inclusion, and community integration. We have also learned that inclusion is often the cruelest form of isolation. Our focus has always been on finding the most appropriate setting for his well-being, and we have chosen a workshop. We are not lobbyists. We are parents with our son's best interest at heart. Any suggestion that we would allow him to be taken advantage of or discriminated against is an insult. If we lose our chosen workplaces, it will leave our loved ones faced with forced community employment at a taxpayer cost of $40 per hour for a job coach, day service at a cost of $10 per client per hour, or simply no employment, which would require residential services at varying costs. Many of these individuals are unable to function in a typical workplace due to behavioral, medical, or physical limitations. They are generally socially ostracized as they have nothing in common with their coworkers. The inevitable cost to individual mental health then trickles down to the families who must find alternatives for their loved ones. In our rural communities, there are very few community work options. The estimated cost per hour per client in our workshop is about $6, and they are regulated by OSHA. They happily perform real work, real jobs for real companies in the community who subcontract with the workshop in a non-threatening environment. It is likely that without our clients to perform this labor, it would be outsourced to another country. Actions to eliminate 14C will violate the civil rights of those for whom this could have devastating consequences. Thank you for allowing me to address you today.
Our 11th speaker.
Hi, my name is Tracy Gritsenko. I come to you today with 35 years of experience in employing people with disabilities. I represent over 6,000 families from the great state of Missouri who make up an organization called A-Team Missouri. We have recently collaborated with 18 other states across the United States with the same mission, to give a voice to those not being heard, as we've seen today. I think we can all agree that 14C employment is not appropriate for all persons with disabilities, but we must also agree that not all disabilities are the same. It is imperative that we not force a one-size-fits-all employment solution on a group of people that face such diverse challenges. The removal of 14C would eliminate a vital employment option for hundreds of thousands of Americans, leaving many of them sitting at home or relegated to day-have programs. Some legislators would have you believe that's okay, because that would just simply be collateral damage to the cause. They're not collateral damage. These are people with desires and needs, just like every other citizen of our country. And to be clear, our families do not believe that sitting at home or in a day-have program is an appropriate or desired option for their loved ones. Persons who choose this type of employment for themselves or their loved ones are continually learning new job skills and social skills, making friends, and yes, earning a paycheck. Sometimes this environment can act as a stepping stone to other employment options, and yes, sometimes it is just simply the perfect fit. Our programs provide an atmosphere that allow individuals to build on their self-esteem and confidence by focusing on their abilities, not their disabilities. This work environment meets them exactly where they are and provides them with supports and, if needed, protections to enable them to succeed in a safe, supported, and understanding atmosphere. For hundreds of thousands of Americans, this is their informed, intentional choice, and we must honor their right to choose what is best for them or their loved ones. Far too often, lawmakers, along with some disability rights groups, increasingly make these decisions without talking to the very people who are directly impacted by this decision. You have brought in many experts on this topic, but I feel, with all due respect, you have missed out on the single most important group, those that work successfully in these environments and their families. After all, are there any better experts? I have spoken with your office about setting up a national tour of sheltered workshops, and it has been well received. I respect the Commission's commitment to doing thorough research, and I think speaking with the families who choose 14C and visiting workshops is critical to that end. I respectfully say it's sort of like giving a movie review without seeing the movie. It's not fair. We talk about enabling and empowering people to make decisions independently, and we agree. Providing a vast array of choices to meet the unique desires and needs of every individual does exactly that, while eliminating 14C does the exact opposite.
Thank you for your testimony.
Thank you very much.
Hello, Commissioners. Thank you for allowing us to share with you today. You all look nice and cheery, warmed up, and you guys have been here for 20 hours, and you're still doing it fantastic. My name is Barden, CEO of Lighthouse Vocational Services in New Holland, Pennsylvania, former executive in transportation, and have been in this segment industry for 4 years. So I'm kind of a new type person in the business world shifting in here. And I want to give you some exciting things that's happening at Lighthouse, but I also want to tell you that I've personally done research with 20 other Pennsylvania workshops, as well as a couple of people that's testifying for you today is in the A-Team, and we all share some of the same things, and the A-Team is like in 10 states. So I'm kind of sharing some things that I think they would probably tell you is going on in a lot of cases at their workshop. So let me share this with you. We have 170 adults with intellectual disabilities based in our workshop. In the last 3 years, we raised enough money to put into our workshop adult training rooms to give our folks an additional dimension of training. Now, this is at a workshop, and now we're going to have arts and crafts and music, technology, family life skills. It's exciting what's happening there. We're going to have a sensory room for autism. So we're going to have a lot of great things. We're going to have a huge, great room so that we're inviting the community in for presentations and stuff like that. That's what you can do at the workshop. That's what a lot of workshops in Pennsylvania and throughout these 10 states and probably the nation are doing. There's some creative things that we're doing some things that are exciting. Okay? We at Lighthouse have 62 people that are now in community participation. We have 30 that are in employment services where we're looking for jobs for them. And by the way, just a suggestion, please incentivize businesses. I've taken my business skills and sat down in front of businesses, and when I address them from a needs-based scenario, I find jobs for my people. It's a unique way you can help businesses want to use your people when you decide to focus on their needs, their specific needs. 18 on OVR services, job placement, shadowing, and everything like that. More than half of our people are outside the building. The 14C is training for us. Yes, they get paid, but you should see new parents that come to our workshop and they go, wow, you're doing this, you're doing that. They have a vision of what they might be able to get trained. I've not heard anything about that today. Also, I got some recommendations for you because you guys and gals seem like you're really, really intently listening. One, listen to the parents, please. They're the most important people you need to see. I agree with this young lady. Go to the workshops. Talk to some of the parents. They care. And as per Michelle Ford, who just shared, it does matter. Transportation is a problem with supporting employment. Make sure we do something about transportation. Also, get statistics. You have no statistics to back up anything.
Thank you very much. Last speaker.
Thank you to the Commission for the opportunity to speak today. My name is Susan Wilde, and for nearly 30 years I have worked to support and advocate for people with significant developmental disabilities. Never have I found it beneficial to limit the opportunities and choices of those with disabilities. I'm a firm believer that all people have the right to choose their path in life, including those with disabilities. 14C ensures that people with disabilities have a choice regarding their place of service and employment. Each person in this room made a choice to be here today. Some are here to give a voice to a belief that they feel strongly about. Some are here on an assignment by their employer. And some are here as just interested spectators. The thing we have in common is that we all had a choice to be here. Choice is the basis of every decision we make every day. We choose our path in life, where we live, who we spend our time with, and what we do for a living. People with significant disabilities should have the right to make the same choices as well. For many individuals with disabilities, the choices for employment are already limited. 14C is a viable and rewarding choice for those individuals that have not yet achieved a level of skill to be successful in competitive employment. It provides a structured training program and compensated employment to those individuals. The program creates the opportunity to accommodate individuals to work at their own pace and to earn their own special wage while gaining skills to prepare them for supported employment or competitive employment. While both sides of this discussion feel strongly about their viewpoints, as you've seen today, what really matters here is what is in the best interest of the people that are participating in the programs and working under 14C. I think we can all agree that 14C is in need of reform. There has obviously been a change in society and our expectations from when 14C was created to today. What has not changed is the basic concept of choice. Eliminating 14C is not in the best interest of all. It is, however, a viable choice and, in fact, the choice of thousands of individuals with significant disability. Let's agree to reform 14C, create new supports and levels of accountability, revise the definitions of 14C. Let's not eliminate it. Thank you.